And so we were standing outside his CICU room, and they gave him a 1% chance of survival. So I keep telling everybody that right here stands the other 99%. My name is Robin Owen, and this is my husband, Luther Douglas Owen, but he goes by Doug. And on Saturday, October 9th, I made a phone call about midnight because I had been awakened by him making this horrible gurgling noise, and then he fell flat on his face next to the bed. So I immediately grabbed the phone, called 911, and Bailey, I think was her name, spoke to me and said, just stay on the phone with me, and you need to turn him over. When I couldn't do that, she said, go get a neighbor. And after that, they took over. So I was down the hall, but the whole time they were coming down and giving us updates and just taking care of us in every way possible.
Thank you.
She kept me calm. She did. Bless her heart.
I remember Miss Owens calling and saying that her husband was unconscious and not breathing. First thing I asked her to do was try to roll him on his back. She wasn't able to, so I asked her to go try to find a neighbor, somebody outside that could roll him over so we could start hands on chest and start CPR. It was stressful, but I wanted to do everything I could to help Miss Owens.
We are just so thankful that
I'm so glad I could help you guys.
You decided you had that call?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad to have y'all here and thank y'all for coming by. It means a lot to these folks because sometimes we don't get to see this part of it.
Right.
So it means a lot to these gentlemen. And our folks train to do these things. And I know we pick and carry on because this is a good thing. But these folks train a lot. There's a lot of training that goes into this moment right here. So it's very powerful on all of us because all of these folks train for good, positive outcomes.
So we got a 911 call for a cardiac arrest, came down, unfortunately found him unresponsive without a pulse, not breathing. Our training kicked in, we started CPR, we secured his airway, our captain over here intubated for a more secured airway, we got pulses back. We followed our training, stayed on scene a little bit, resuscitated him, got him to a point where we could transfer him to the hospital without him re-arresting en route. And from there, the hospital kind of took over, and thank goodness he's here today with us. Honestly, for me, I've been here for approximately 7 years. This is the first time that I've ever had a family member or family or the patient reach out for anything. So this is a first for us, and it really does mean a lot to us when families write us cards, reach out, anything. It just means a lot to know, especially with our outcomes, so we can see how they do, and it just kind of reminds us of why we got into EMS, why we're here, and it kind of just renews our love for the job. None of this would have happened without everybody, from the family doing perfect, pre-arrival CPR, from the communicators answering the phone call, giving those instructions, from the fire department helping us out with the CPR and the patient movement, from everybody. I mean, from our training admin on down, this is what we prepare for. I mean, without that, we wouldn't have outcomes like this.
I don't remember much, and I might cry a little bit. But first off, I want to thank the man upstairs. He wasn't ready for me yet, so I'm still here today. And if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be here, because they worked feverishly to save me.
What the 911 operator did to begin with, and the quick action of our neighbor, and then the quick action of all of these people here who are so vital to our community. They do an absolutely wonderful job of taking care of the patient, but they do an even better job of taking care of the family in one of the worst times of your life.